What's happening, team? Adam Adzed here, Factory BJJ. I'm back again. Got some more questions, and if you've not seen any of the other videos, do check them out. I've been kind of answering some of the questions that we got on Instagram surrounding competing at Polaris last weekend and just about competitions in general. We've had some great ones so far. What we're going to talk about, I'm going to do 3 of these today, and then we're going to do one more video just to kind of wrap everything up. First question, what was the biggest challenge of the whole event? So, biggest challenge of the whole event, I mean, besides kind of competing against a world-class team, I actually feel like the biggest challenge was probably preparing in the situation that we're in at the moment with COVID. I don't mind, you know, I did jump in last minute to this, so I only had 3 weeks to prepare. I'd like a little bit longer usually, but I've been staying in shape all year, and I've been training and trying to stay sharp as possible with the limited kind of resources that we've had. But ultimately, I think that was probably the biggest challenge. You know, for me to be able to do a full fight camp, to be able to have a wider variation of like sparring partners, and just more opportunity to train and stuff would have definitely kind of helped, you know, to a degree. Maybe it wouldn't have changed the results, but at the same time, I do feel like that was probably the biggest challenge. I also had this massive like blister. Some of you guys will saw it on Instagram. It's my own fault. I'm not going to go into how it happened, but like I had this huge blister on my heel, and when I signed the contract for Polaris, we ended up popping pretty quickly when we started training hard, and then I cut we call it the roof off the blister, so it's just red raw. So there's a lot of packing it out. There's a lot of trying to cover it and drying it out, and then sparring was really difficult. That was probably the biggest challenge for that as well, because I'd take the back and I couldn't put the second hook in because the heel digging in through the body was just so painful. If someone played De La Hiba guard on me and was grabbing my heel, like, man, it was just, I was super mindful of it because obviously I wanted it to heal, but then I wanted to train hard as well at the same time. So yeah, probably besides, like say, the world-class team we had to fight, you know, that was the biggest challenge, obviously. But were some other challenges which were equally as tough. Next question, how was it facing Tommi Pulkkanen? It was really good, actually. So for those who don't know, in my second match in the second half of the competition, I fought Tommi. Tommy's an old friend of ours, and he's been here to train, and we've hosted him for seminars. Good friend of mine, and we saw him kind of getting ready. So like the match before was just kind of coming to a conclusion. I think it was a draw before, and Tommi was like taking a sip of water, like he was sat there, and I just said to Ari, I said, "Oh, let me take Tommi. Like, I wanted to fight Tommi because like I felt like our matches like matched up quite well. We kind of play certain things which are similar. I've got a huge amount of respect for Tommi. He's a top guy on and off the mat. I really rate his game, and he's a world-class competitor as well. So to be able to get on the mat with him was very humbling, very privileged to be able to do that. The match went to a draw. Not gonna lie, you know, find it very hard to submit a guy like that. So I was playing for a draw. And he had me in some pretty bad spots at times. You know, when he took my back and he body triangled me, I thought I was done. When he flattened me out and he had the back, I thought I was done. But managed to escape and tried to play some of my guard game as well, which was good. And the 5 minutes just went like that. And I've not watched it back yet, so I'm hopefully going to watch it back this weekend. I look forward to seeing that again. Love Tommi to bits. He's a great competitor and an even better person. So, you know, very honoured to be able to finally get on the mat against him. And yeah, he'll definitely be back here teaching and doing a seminar for us at some point, 100%. So big up, Tommy. Okay, last question. Today, were you scared or nervous before competing against such world-class athletes? The answer is no. And that's not to be cocky. We talked a little bit about nerves and anxiety in the first video, but I've never been kind of nervous or worried or scared about competing somebody who's world class, or a household name. So in my career, I've competed against, loads of people who you guys know. You've probably seen some of those matches, and a lot of them are on YouTube, if not all of them. I've been brought up to kind of treat everybody the same way and to look at everybody the same way. And I kind of feel like we're both humans. We've got 2 arms, we've got 2 legs. I've never been starstruck with anybody that I've competed against or trained with or anything. And that's not a disrespectful thing. We're just all people, and I think I have seen that happen where people kind of freeze up or maybe over respect somebody because of they've got world titles or because they're a household name. I almost just take that completely out of it, and it's just jiu-jitsu, like one move for another. It doesn't really kind of affect the performance or affect my approach when I'm competing against somebody like that. You can't get scared or anything, and it's natural to be a little bit nervous or excited or whatever about competing against somebody like that, but it's you should never let it take away from your own training. You've prepared well, you're both black belts, you're both a similar size, anything can happen. And if you can kind of get to one of your A game positions, we talked about that in another video. I don't feel like you've got anything to worry about. And it's just jiu-jitsu at the end of the day. I've fought household names and been beaten, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything in the scheme of things. We're both back to training the next day. We're both kind of still going to be loved by our team, and we're going to get on with things. So it's not really that big in the scheme of things. The world continues and life goes on. All right, so I've got one more video. We're going to finish off the last couple of questions. We'll do a couple of funny ones as well. So I'll see you on the next video.